Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are. Welcome back to another episode of What's Buzzin Cuzzin with myself, BobbyK, and that guy over there, my darling cousin Robbie G, who is obviously a little bit because he's an Arsenal fan, but other than that, we don't hold anything against him. What's up, Robbie? How you doing, buddy?
I am brilliant, man. How you doing?
I can't complain. Can't complain. A little bit lazy, hating this hay fever nonsense, but it
Buddy, the
is what
sun
it
is
is. Can't
shining.
complain. Sun is
We got the
shining.
windows open. No rain so far. Touch wood. Long weekend. Very excited.
Long
Looking
weekend
forward
this
to today.
weekend?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Must be nice. I don't
it's
know
gonna
what
be
those
nice.
are.
And it's our end of season show. So what else can you
Yes,
say,
it is
right?
the end of
It's
the
the start of a new
season
season.
show. It's the last show that you and I will do for at least what 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how things go. Little
Yeah.
Robbie G is on the way, and so there'll be a new addition on screen when we pop back into the frame here. And unfortunately, no matter how hard I try, I have a feeling that my darling nephew will end up wearing that horrible, horrible red color. But it is what it is. Such
It
is
is what it
life.
is, man.
I just realized after all these shows, this is number 7 now with this, and I just realized that I'm on the red side of the background while
Oh,
you're on
yeah.
the blue side. But
Is that on purpose? We should flip that for the next time.
doesn't take much, buddy.
There you go. There
But
you go.
I'm used to kind of turning and looking at you that
Yeah,
way,
that's
right?
gonna
Because that's what I
confuse you. It won't
that's what I
confuse
do
me.
with Cooves, right? So that's what I'm used to, right? So that's how it is. But we will get into it for quickly here. We'll just say hello to a few people that have joined us here. Sophia's already here. Big up, Sophia. Good to see you. Jacob from United Spurs jumped in. Brush, of course, always supporting. Big up, buddy. This I tried to get this guy on the show. Actually, unfortunately, it's a bit too late for him. He's over in England. This is he's from FTSN. His name's Bobby. Really, really sweet, nice guy. He's an Arsenal fan as well. So I tried to get you a little bit of support. My man
Oh, nice,
Biggie is
nice.
in the house. Big up, Biggie. Hope you're well. Ryan, Huddersfield Town is already over as well. Big up, Ryan. Good to see you. And the sheriff is in the house. Big up, Mark. Good to see you, mate. And Andrew Gregory always supporting as usual. Good to see you, my man. And Rob Patterson is here. Haven't seen you in a long time, my friend. Good to see you, mate. Hopefully you're well. Stuart 727, always supporting. Big up, Stuart. Great to see you. And Patty now has not only thrown me into the American bus, has decided to add you too. So although he claims to be Irish, this is my favorite Englishman. So we will just give it right back. Not really much going on other than this first, isn't it, Robbie? We are getting to the end of the line here. A lot of ups and downs for both teams, really, in terms of how the season went, kind of things. You guys sat at the top of the food chain for a very long time and everything, and now you are where you are. But where do we end up? Where do you see Arsenal finishing now? Do you think you guys are going to just hold on to second place and that's where you go, or is that outside chance that City lose their last 3 games and you guys win year 2 and you still get the title? God forbid.
Did you watch the any of the Madrid or the Madrid highlights?
Dude, they absolutely ripped them up, didn't they?
Destroyed them.
Yeah, but they
Destroyed
had
them.
that. They had Cavaninga playing left back. I didn't get that one, and he got torn apart, right? So that didn't really help. So
I don't think, again, at the Etihad with the mentality that this team's showing, it's next level, dude. It's next level. And it's no surprise that Arsenal fell off, right? You could take it three-quarters of the way there. We're going to get into it. I'm one of those ones who is a very realistic sports fan. I will say that we choked it, we bottled it, but my God, to go from where we've been to having the season that we had, it left me very proud and inspired, right? So I'm
it
pretty
leaves you
stoked.
hope.
It gives me hope, right?
Okay.
Like, listen, if you're a sports fan, you're not guaranteed to win every single time. Even if, the best teams are leading at the top, they can still slip up. And I think we did that in this young team. Now is really the question, what's next? And we'll get into that. But
Yep.
in terms of where we end up, I think we end up second, trophyless, but taking, and again, I'm a positive guy, so taking a lot of positives out of the season and not throwing all the good work away.
Yeah, there's a lot. As much as it pains me to give you guys credit, there is a lot to look forward to that was positive for your season. At the end of the day, I still remember you and I having this conversation before we had started the show, before the season even started, that your expectations towards your team were hopefully just getting into the top four, kind of taking steps forward, not, for you guys to go and challenge for the league. That was a leap forward. I'm some glad that you guys aren't going to win it, though, because that would have just been salt in the wound, especially with the season that we've had. It's been just such a roller coaster ride.
Not just you guys, Chelsea,
Oh,
after spending that money, everybody, United, after everybody, nobody wanted us to win, and I don't blame them, right? I think any other rival fan, maybe bar Liverpool, maybe to a lesser degree, a lot of the United fans that we know over here, wouldn't care if City won, because they're like, I don't see any City fans. We don't live in Manchester. We don't.
I know 3, and they're all from work.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
and
all 3 of them. And there's only one of them that's actually been a City fan before the oil money came in.
The money,
right? So the other 2,
sense.
Of course, jumped on the bandwagon, and I don't have any care for people disrespect fans like that. I don't really care. When I look at little K's friends, Christian's friends, and stuff from school, and they banter us about being Tottenham fans, I'll turn around to them and go, "Okay, well, who do you support?" I still remember having this conversation. It was just a few weeks ago at the park when I went to pick them up, and they're playing football, and I had a Spurs sweater on, and one of the kids runs over. "Oh, Uncle, you're a Tottenham fan too, like Christian. Ha ha ha! You guys suck." I said, "Okay, no problem. Who do you support?" "Barcelona." "Oh, who's your favorite player?" "Messi." Wonderful. I'm so glad you're such a big Barcelona fan. You don't even know he's not on the team anymore.
That's amazing.
Hey, kid, you keep that up. You know what I mean? But the people support winning teams, right? It's just look at the fan base Man United had, because they had almost a straight decade of just consistent success, and their fan base grew significantly in that time. Our fan base grew in the Poch era. I saw a significant growth number in our fan base. I went from knowing 2 Tottenham fans to knowing, well, now because of the community, several, but I'm talking about just in real life here.
In local,
local, just there's only a handful of them really, but it's crazy. And Stuart's just asking you if you're having Arsenal crumble for dessert today.
I will take the banter, and we can compare seasons. I'm fine with it, but I was left this season with a lot of positives, and I'm again, we go again. That's the nature of sport, right? So the fact that we haven't, and again, I'm a long-term fan, this. So the fact that we haven't been here in 20 years, and I'm still around to see progression in my team, I'll take it. And the fact that you're kind of up against arguably the best team in the world right now.
Yeah.
In Manchester City.
Yeah, that addition of Holland is showing to be the key piece of the puzzle right now, isn't it? So it looks like they've really
best team in the world. That's who this young 20.
And that's after they went and got rid of players that were superstars. Let's get rid of our best fullback. Let's get rid of.
We'll take a couple of their sloppy seconds. We'll take Jesus and we'll take Zinchenko, and they'll banish Cancelo, and they'll be like,
but that was Pep helping you guys out, because he got fed up that he had no competition, right? So he thought, okay, let me give you a couple of players that might make the team better. But Rob's comment here is a good one here, because he's saying, can we just take a moment for Chelsea, literally the worst team in London? Are they not? Considering what they spent and where they are, I think, we as Spurs fans, I know a majority of the fan base that I do speak to on a regular basis, my friends in the community and stuff, are disappointed with the season that we've had, because it has been absolutely pathetic, for lack of better words, in terms of we went backwards, right, from last year, even after almost a £200 million spend in last summer with the additions. I remember there's fans that were saying the window was a 2 out of 10, and then there's some that were saying it was an 8 out of 10. When you looked at bringing in Perisic with the experience, Basuma to add some metal to the midfield there, he always did well against us when we played against Brighton. Some young players with Hill in there as well, bringing in Richarlison as well, and
Jed Spence.
And that was the next one with the young players with the Spence and everything. But clearly Spence wasn't somebody that was tutored to be sticking around, because didn't even get really any play time, and then we shipped him out. But I think these guys really, really are the worst out of them all, because 600 million spent, and when you look at that team on paper, it's unbelievable. It really is. Right?
It should be hitting so much further.
Fans.
If you start taking where they were around Christmas, right? They were not that far off from Liverpool at ninth, 10th, in and around there, but around the time they played each other.
Yeah.
Look at where Liverpool are now and look at where Chelsea are now.
Yeah.
There was no discernible reason, the way everybody was playing, that Chelsea couldn't have skyrocketed, whether through Potter or whether through Lampard, to a fourth or European place. There was no reason that they couldn't have done that. It
Oh yeah,
spiraled
100%.
heavy out of control,
Oh,
heavy
beyond.
out of control.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm there for that because I hate Chelsea and I hate their fans. And part of it is jealousy because they were able to, in the early days, they were the early buying Man City type buying success. But then
Yeah.
you still need a Mourinho. You still need, look at what Pep's done. Look what Mourinho's doing now.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're falling flat on their face, even Tuchel sort of getting into the Champions League, it's great to see them sort of fall flat on their face.
I love
The
it.
only yeah,
That's one of the few things that you
yeah,
guys not winning the title and them just absolutely falling apart has been
yeah.
the
Their worst season,
the
their worst
highlights of the
season in their
season,
history.
and that's kind of sad as a Spurs fan. That the only joy I'm finding in the season is the misery of the other teams. But Mark's got a good one here. The sheriff is just saying he's not blowing smoke up your butt there, but City have 150 alleged FFP counts to answer for that are going to be coming up. But do you think anything's going to
For me
happen with that?
personally,
I don't think anything's going to happen with
I
that.
don't think anything. Tell me, maybe with the exception of Jeffrey Epstein, but we all know how that ended. Name me one rich person who goes to jail. Name me one rich person who gets punished
Yeah.
for something,
Yeah.
right? And I saw a great thing on a City channel where a guy had said, "Listen, I'm a City fan. I'll always be a City fan. I will always defend my club." And look at the sort of, a lot of people had argued the galvanization of City was once those FFP charges were announced and Pep made his speech. It was kind of like a rallying cry to the fan and whatever. A lot of people had said, even if whatever happens, it's not going to take our experience away from winning the Premier League on the last day, from beating Liverpool by 1 point season after season.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff is not going to take away those moments. So what do they really lose? Okay, they
Well,
lose money. They
turned
might lose
around and did
stature.
something like a Juventus where they turned around and just hit them really heavy with the points deduction to start next year. But let's face it, they could start 15 points down and probably still win the title with the team that
Buddy,
they've got.
they
It's a
look,
matter of
if you're
hitting
gonna
them in
really,
the pocket and
exactly,
limiting their ability to bring in players and
yeah,
keep adding, the
fine is
best in the
nothing
world.
because
It's
they're like,
ridiculous.
this is money is meaningless, so this fine is meaningless.
Yeah, Rob's got a comment here for you that might actually help you, and I have to agree with him here. He's saying, I'll give it to Woolwich. Reluctantly, they've done things right and backed Arteta, even when the fans wanted him out. You guys were calling for his head. There was a small time that you guys were calling for his head, which is what we should have done with Poch. We turned around. We had a certain portion of our fan base start calling for Poch's head, and he gets fired. Then we hear about all this stuff, how there's all these issues with the board and everything coming into the end of the season and his last few weeks of his reign, and that's why he went out. But, I wonder where we would be had we just properly backed our manager, which is what you guys have done, brought him the players he wants,
Yeah,
not the ones the
yeah.
board want. Matty Hayes is in the house. Big up Matty. If you don't know Matty, he's the one of the transfer gurus of the Tottenham world. This guy always seems to be a step ahead and in the know. So it always providing great content. So Matty, great to see you. Appreciate you popping by, buddy. But one rich person who gets punished. Let's hope as soon as yeah, Donald Trump, the former president of the U.S. Matty, I love you, buddy, but I don't think he's going to be going to jail anytime soon. Considering,
I would put money, if I was a betting man, and I am a betting man, I would put money on him to win in 2024.
oh yeah, well, Biden just kind of looks like he's handing it right back over. We did want to talk about this. We kind of led into this a little bit already, but let's go into it then. So Arsenal bottle it. When we look at what they've done, and we're going to have to do a little sidestepping here with this one. Where the hell did it go? Oh, there it is. Are you ready? Ba-bam! Okay. So when we look at that, I better remove the banner so you can see the numbers there. So Arsenal this year, the most time at the top of the Premier League table without winning it, 93% of the season sitting up there.
Yeah, it's not
71 going back 20 years ago, pretty much. And then it was you guys again. Oh, sorry. Okay, 07, 08. That's 15 years ago. And then Liverpool, then, well, you guys again. So for some reason, you guys like sitting at the top of the perch, but not flying from there and continuing your upward trajectory. You like to nosedive downwards here. So what do you attribute that to? I'm curious because you I love talking to you about this stuff. We always talk football and everything. We try to keep it reasonable, but Jesus, Robbie, if my team sat at the top of the food chain for 93% of the season, I would be devastated right now. I know you're trying to find the
You got to look at the
comfort
silver
zone
lining,
kind of
man.
thing. Look
Yeah.
at the silver lining, try to be positive, which is what I have to do and had to do for the last 30 years as a Spurs fan now. That one trophy that I did get to see lifted watching a game was the Carabao Cup or the Carling Cup or whatever it gets renamed to, depending on who decides to throw
Johnson
sponsorship
Trophy.
or the Johnson Trophy or whoever it is, right? So, Patty's just say, yeah, you can dream, man, but Donald ain't going to jail, Matty. Sorry, brother. Sorry, my man. But you definitely deserve the kind words, man. You're a good man. You're always supporting us, man. You always been good with the kids, so it's much appreciated, buddy. There you go. And Rob's following it. Matt's comment up. There's more chance of us winning a trophy than Trump going to president. Fair enough, Rob. Fair enough. That is true, isn't it? It's a sad
It's
reality.
remarkable,
It's
man.
a sad reality,
There's no
right?
sticking that guy.
So,
You can't stick that guy.
when you look at those numbers, Robbie, you bottled it. There's no denying the fact that you did bottle it.
I will agree. I will agree.
It was there for the taking, especially when you look at those 3 draws that you gave up. Games you were leading, the first 2 you were leading, both 2-0, came back, throw away 2-goal leads, and then the fall apart to Southampton. Shockingly, you guys were the ones that were able to make a comeback in that game and draw 3-3. I think at that point that I thought that would give you guys a little bit of hope and kind of that kickstart back into fire forward, but it didn't seem to.
Well, the game
where do you think the wheels fell off?
The game after that was the City game,
and you got absolutely brutalized in that one too,
yeah,
right?
So for
you got they kept it real, buddy, like Real Madrid.
Like it was insane. I would say the wheels started to fall off probably around, maybe after the Europa semifinal knockout, right? So that was a choking moment because realistically, if your team is as good as
Oh, you just muted your mic. You pushed a button or something. You're still dead. No, I can't hear you now. What are we doing? The TELUS commercial here? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. As you can see, there's 2 Indians on this show, and neither of us have any tech ability. So clearly, neither of us have ever worked for Microsoft.
Oh, there we go. Now
there you go. You're good. You're good.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So you were saying?
Yeah. So that was one of the stumbling blocks, right? And I think you're right. After the Liverpool game, and Rio said it on an interview recently. He said, there was a time when he was in, they had drawn maybe Bolton or something, and Arsenal won that week when he was with Gary Neville and Roy Keane, and he heard them in the locker room, and he goes, you know what? That's a strong point. That's a good point. We need to take that momentum forward, right?
Yeah.
And so right around then, there was no leaders in the change room to sort of grab everybody by the scruff of the neck and be like, hey, that's a point at Anfield. Okay, we had a 2-point lead, but we slipped up.
Yeah.
But we moved forward and we didn't lose.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that, right? That experience.
Well, and it's funny you say that because that's what I wanted to kind of lead into. Do you think it's because of the fact that the team is so young that there's no true leaders in there? You still have Zaka, Partey's in there and everything as well. They've been kind of the guys that have been the vocal ones of the squad, pushing the younger guys forward. But a majority of your squad is very young.
Yeah, man, Saka's young. Saliba got injured. He's having an amazing rookie season. Arteta, keep in mind, Arteta's still technically a rookie manager. It's his first job. Right?
We're talking about his 4th year in now, so you can't really use that.
Well, third year, fair enough. But his first job, right? So he's made some mistakes. Realistically, now you could see that.
Do you think it's his mistakes though that cost you those games?
Yeah, some of them, yeah, for sure.
Poor substitutions, poor tacticals. What is it then? What do you point out?
Failure to strengthen more in the January window. I think rather than grabbing Jorginho, who was great.
You just went underwater or something here, man. There's something wrong with your feed, man.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's really muffled all of a sudden. I don't know if that's
That's
just
right.
my end or if that's I don't know. Sorry if somebody in the comments can just let me know if you can hear Robbie clearly or not. But I'm he's a bit muffled on my end, so I just need to know if it's carry
What
on.
now? Is it still kind of muffled, or
Yeah,
is it better?
no, it's actually way worse.
Oh, really? What happened? I didn't touch nothing.
I don't know what's worse is I don't know if this is just on my it's just between you and me or if if the feed is okay for the handful of people that are watching us. If yeah, well, we'll just crack on here and hope it's yeah. Robbie sounds like C3. He sounds like Darth Vader. You sound like yeah,
C3PO?
yeah. You do. There's something just went really whack with your mic there, man.
Okay, hold on. I'll let you host it for a minute,
Yeah,
and
jump out and jump back in then quickly, and while
okay.
then I'll just make fun of your team. Yeah, you know what? Talk about a serious friggin' bottle job, folks. You know, you look at these numbers just straight out. Can you imagine sitting at the top of the food chain that frigging long? You know, we as Spurs fans can only hope for that. That we could have sat at the top of the food chain, been at the top of the perch, and been challenging and stuff like that. But to be there that long and then drop off, that's got to be painful, man. It's got to be painful. Um, Robbie stream bottled it just like his team. Nice one, Mark. Nice one. Just for letting us know, guys. I wasn't sure if it's just my end or not, but hopefully he'll get it sorted out and be back with us in a moment here because I don't need you to sit here and just watch me talk to myself because, well, I do that every day. And sometimes I don't like the conversation I have with me because, well, it's me, you know. But what do you guys think? You know, do you feel that Arsenal bottled it? Do you think that they should be given credit for what they have achieved? That they have overachieved? That they were only kind of hoping to get into the top four and break back into getting into the Champions League qualification, and then maybe taking a step forward from there in the coming years. Do you know? Did they overachieve? Really, is the question I'm asking. I personally think they did overachieve, but I'm glad that they didn't finish it off. I can't imagine having to listen to this guy, another Arsenal fan, being all happy about how they win the league, especially with the season that we've had. So he is back. Let's see how we're doing.
Testing one,
Testing.
two,
Oh, he's
three.
back to normal. He's back to normal. Okay, now we got to listen to his
There we
waffle. Oh,
go.
his.
I heard some of that, and I will say you're pretty clever. It's pretty clever, but I will say,
Mark said your stream
um,
bottled it, which was great.
yeah, I
That
could
that
hear
was
you.
great.
I
That
could
was
hear
great.
you.
That's both of
Yeah.
you. Okay, so Rob's got a question for us here. What's the best goal you've ever seen? What's the best goal you've ever seen your team score? And what is the best goal you've seen against each other? Wow. For me, the best
Ooh.
goal against each other simply has to be that Harry Kane mask goal. I absolutely loved that goal and that celebration when he came out of that corner and the angle that he fired it in on, and then rips his mask off in celebration when we beat you guys. That to me was one of my favorite goals and best goal I've ever seen. Man, there's quite a few up there, but there's one I remember. It was Sook's birthday. We were playing against Crystal Palace, and Dele Alli scored it. And the movement before Dele Alli scored the goal, the ball movement, everything. Christian Eriksen passed the ball over to him. He did a little cheeky flick up over to himself, turned and smashed it into the net, and it was just an absolutely amazing goal. That was my favorite. So, what about you, buddy? What's your favorite goal
So
against us? What's your favorite goal ever?
favorite goal against you, I think I mentioned it already, was the Henri where he like glides past half your team from the halfway line and then scores. Like that. That's probably my. That's what made me fall in love with Arsenal at that time. Best goal I've seen live was probably the when I was at the FA Cup final, Ramsey at Wembley against Chelsea, which was fantastic because I was like, everybody was saying after 2017 when we made it to the FA Cup final, and I was going for my 40th. Everybody was like, "Why you going? Like, why you going to that game? Like, they
Yeah,
just walked the league. It's a waste of time." I'm like, "Hey, man, this is a once in a lifetime chance for me." And
exactly.
Sanchez scored within the first 10. Rob Holding surprisingly had Diego Costa in his pocket. Murdersacker like made mincemeat of some of their defenders or some of their attackers. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant, and we won. Yeah, and I was like, I can't believe I came all the way from Canada to see that. It was the week after the Ariana Grande
Yeah, the
Manchester
bombing and everything.
bombing.
Yeah. Right.
And
I
I
remember
remember I
that
was like,
actually. Yeah.
yo, man, I gotta be there in 7 days.
Yeah.
So, and I remember Shannon was like, "You ain't going." I'm like, "You." And so
Yeah.
I was like, "I gotta go. I gotta go." And everyone's like, "Why are you going? Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
lose that game. Why would you go?" I
Yeah.
was like, "This is a once in a lifetime chance for me, and
Exactly.
we
You
won."
still, it's like we went to the stadium. We watched our team lose to you guys, unfortunately, but still being there in the atmosphere and being part of the experience was still amazing for us. The kids were still over the moon. Christian, everything that he ended up receiving because of this. One of his guys in the chat here, who did the Englishman, Paddy, getting his name into the into the book and everything, into the game day program with a little announcement there, and then having the halftime announcement as well, and then it was just an amazing, amazing day. I would have just liked to have seen a goal, if anything. But while you ride your high and I ride my low, I'll just remind you of this.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay,
Okay,
well, let's
so
go to the next one.
next one
What's the
is
next
this one
topic?
because now this is where you get to make fun of us for a little bit now. So not only have we gone and thrown away our top four ambitions because that seems to be the only ambition we like to have right now, especially with the current ownership. I don't really want to get into too much of that because I don't really like speaking on that. But it's disappointing. It's very disappointing. We are in a spot now. Um, if we're lucky, we might finish in the top eight. Um, there's a certain section of our fan base that doesn't want us to qualify for Europe, even that
I've heard that.
Intercontinental Cup,
I've heard
whatever the
that.
hell it is. I don't even
Conference
know what
League.
it's
West
called.
Ham gonna win
Conference
it.
League, whatever the hell. Yeah, exactly. So, but then there's like I talked to Jay, my son, and Jay is like, no, Dad, I'll take Conference League because it's a trophy we actually have a chance to win. The sad reality is that's my 16-year-old looking at our team and seeing that as our level. Not setting his sights higher. There's a certain section of our fan base that says we deserve Conference League. These players deserve to trek around to unknown parts of the world and sit in Siberia and play on fields where they have to remove the cows and the pigs first, and play on pitches and sit on wooden
Yeah,
benches instead of the
yeah,
comforts that they've got. And while they're there and they're getting splinters in their ass from these wooden benches, they can realize that it's your fault. It's your lack of effort. It's your lack
yeah.
of
You
intensity.
brought
It's
this on
your
yourself.
yeah. You brought this on yourself. It was
Yeah.
your lack
Now
of
go
commitment to the
go play
cause.
in
And now,
Azerbaijan on a Wednesday or a
yeah,
Thursday.
exactly. A Thursday. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Go play in -4 degrees weather, and while everybody else
Yeah.
is playing in the
Cold
sunshine.
bench.
And you know,
Yeah. Go ahead,
uh,
Mr. Harry Kane. Go
exactly.
to yeah.
Harry Kane playing against geez, I can't even remember some of the names of the teams that we played against. I still remember
Genk.
when we had to look up when we were in it last time. I had to look up a couple of teams. Like, where the hell? Where is this place?
Fiorentina.
You know,
Fiorentina, and at least they're Italy.
no,
So
Fiorentina, but
yeah.
but I'm talking about all the far-reaching places. You're trekking into Russia and everything like that, and
So now, okay, let's
there's
jump
a lot
into
of
it, right?
travel in it as well that's involved in that. And that affects your
Terrible.
season as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm at the point where I just think that if we don't qualify for any European competition at all, it almost forces the board's hand to commit to the cause properly because they're going to see that as a loss of money. At the end of the day,
You think
that's
that's what
that's
it's
what it
gonna
comes
take?
down to. I don't know, Robbie, at this point what it's going to take. Who really knows? But Jacob's decided to join us. Big up, Jacob. Nice to see you. Rob saying it was the last time we won a trophy. Yeah, that's well, Gaza's free kick. That was the FA Cup one, I believe he's talking about against you guys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So travel to places that sound like Wi-Fi passwords, exactly. So Robert just saying hi to Jacob there, and vice versa there. But yeah, I'm at the point where I don't want them to qualify for Europe as well. I do I do appreciate the fact that some of our fans think that we deserve to suffer. Our players deserve to suffer. They deserve to go to places that they're not happy, that they're not comfortable, that they don't get all the creature comforts and everything. They're not getting the sparkling bottled water and everything, garden hose water out of a tap kind of deal. And I, I, I think though that's going to be detrimental. I think it's going to hurt I don't think they're going to mentally kind of be strong enough, because these questions have already come up. Mourinho questions the squad, Conte questions the squad, their tough mentality and stuff like that. They're so fragile that this, I think, could end up actually mentally breaking them even further, to the point where, screw it, I'm just gonna just go through the motions, collect my paycheck, which we've seen this season quite a bit as fans, and it's painful.
Like,
It's
yeah.
absolutely
You need
it's
need big
painful
recruitment.
football as well.
You need to change almost from the top down, but if not from the top down, then at least from the director of football down.
We don't have one.
Like, didn't you just hire that Australian guy?
But he's in jail.
Oh yeah. So like that for
Or
me.
he's going to jail, or he's banned, or it's this.
Your club's a shambles, bro. Like, I'm sorry,
beyond.
Beyond.
I think saying we're in shambles is actually.
I'm not gonna lie. That's why us choking. It's not that bad. Watching guys like you nobody had Arsenal for a chance.
Right.
Nobody had Arsenal for a chance.
I don't think we choked as bad as this, though.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. So
93%. This is the first time you've ever seen a 93%, bro.
No,
going all the way back to high school.
Fudge my score, and they put up. That's right, and they put the ticket prices up, and they put up the One Hotspur membership prices.
I mean, that's not surprising. I saw a lot of Liverpool fans. I saw the price of their jerseys got released today. It was about 115, 120 quid. And there was uproar, I think, on Twitter.
Does it come with a player?
I think it was, Nunes jersey.
No, I'm saying, does it actually come with a physical player in the shirt that you get to take home with you for that price?
No. For those of you who don't know the conversion, that's around 250 Canadian dollars.
That's about 200. 115 pound would be about close to 200. Yeah, it's about $1.80. It's about $1.80 right now, the conversion.
Is it really? Okay, that exchange rate's better. But I mean, you guys, after this season and the expectations you had, like it's gonna be like, this is a big fall apart.
Rob's asking, was that the elite kit?
I don't know. It had a picture of Nunes on it. It was red, so I don't know if that was. I don't know what kind of kid it was. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I just saw it come up and saw a lot of Liverpool fans were like, "What are you talking about? Like, this is crazy." Yeah. I don't know what it cost before.
Where do you see us finishing, Robbie?
I think you guys will finish. You got Brentford this weekend, right?
Yeah, and then Leeds next weekend. In Leeds
next weekend, and Aston Villa.
Ellen Road next week, and tomorrow is Brentford at home for us.
And you're tied with Aston Villa right now, right? Same games, I think.
Patty said he's going to send me a link tomorrow. I don't know what he's going to send me a link for, but sure, Patty, you're welcome to send me whatever you want, buddy. So maybe it's a link to this again. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. I could see us.
How long Spurs were at the top? Where's that stat? Where's that graphic table?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was that? Can't hear you, cuz. You're saying something? What? Huh?
Where are you guys? Where are you guys now? Let me just check where you guys are.
I've left
in the table. I think you're tied with the. Do you even know where you are in the table? Why can't you tell me?
7th, aren't we?
You are 7th. You're tied with Villa for 7 and 8.
Yeah.
I think your goal difference.
So it's
goal difference is 6 and 4. So I don't know, man.
Jesus, Rob paid £130 for last year's elite home. £130. My God, crazy,
And then it makes you wonder, what are they doing with the money, right?
Well, that's the thing. This is where the arguments come up in the fan base that there you go. So 115 for elite jersey, £75 for the normal jersey. I'm assuming he meant to put 75, not 74, because 74 is just a really weird number, or it's an English thing. I don't know. It's shambles, like you said, Robbie. And then we go out of that and we go into this. Next Spurs manager. Here we are wondering why we're not finishing in a decent spot this year, but then we don't have a manager. The Ryan Mason experiment obviously has not gone well.
Would you keep him? Is this like a Make-A-Wish Kid Foundation type thing where you're like, go on, Ryan, just lead Spurs for a year. Go on, Ryan.
At this point, you want to know my honest opinion?
Yeah.
Honestly, Keep Ryan Mason. If the board is not going to bring in a director of football that Daniel Levy doesn't let do his job and stop micromanaging the damn club right down to the frigging ground and burning it, let Ryan Mason stay in charge. Let him keep finishing in the bottom half of the table. Let us not get Europe. Let us start losing fans. Let us start getting toxic. Let us start getting negative. Let's start absolutely watching Tottenham burn right down to the ground, because I think that's really what it's going to take, because the amount of money that's being generated for this club is enough to keep the board happy and the people, the powers that be at the top of the food chain happy. And that sickens me. You know, all this extra revenue that we're getting from all these different revenue sources, it seems to be they are the priority. You know, we're worried about Beyonce concert. We're worried about a Joshua fight. We've got goddamn F1 kart track coming in now. It's absolutely pathetic. Nowhere on that stadium does it say Tottenham Hotspur's Football Club. Nowhere. We were there. We looked at it. You know, when I heard that through YouTube community and other people saying it, I was like, yeah, okay, it's got to be somewhere. We walked around the entire stadium. Didn't see it once. Not once does it actually say this is the home of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. You know, so what does that tell you?
Terrible.
What are we? A business entity, an entertainment entity? It's you know, of course, when I say that, it's take it with a grain of salt. Of course, do I ever want to see my team? Does anybody ever want to see their team? The wheels completely fall off? No, never. You know what I mean? You always support them through good and bad and everything. And right now, it's bad.
That's it.
But I've seen more bad than good in my 31 years as a fan. And that's frustrating. There's fans here that I know that have been fans for 40, 50 years and stuff. There's a gentleman that we're going to have coming on the show soon that's been a fan since he was 5 years old. He's 78. 73 years a fan. Out of the last, I think it was 19 trophies that Tottenham have won, or 18, he has been and seen 16 of them lifted.
Really? Wow.
In real life. So, yeah, so we're going to be having him come on with the boys to do an off the pitch. So it's going to be absolutely good when, you know, and this is what I was going to get into. Mark kind of stole my thunder here with this one. It doesn't matter who the manager is while these owners are here, you know, and Rob agrees with that too. I
hear the frustration.
I don't see the picture. You know what I mean? That's the thing. When you try to look at the big picture, it's not there. When you try to look at the small picture, I don't see it. I don't know. I'm just so confused as a fan in terms of what's going on. I don't understand what our projected hope future is. What I don't
you don't have a trajectory. I'll be honest, bro. You don't have a plan. You have no process. You have no plan.
That's bullshit. We got the F1 cart started. They've started building.
Well, that's fantastic. Is that your vision? You like F1 cart? I don't know what the is that.
I have no idea, buddy. I don't know if they're gonna have Mario there, or if you get to dress up in a Donkey Kong Jr. You know, or something. But don't say that, because Jacob's in the chat and he absolutely hated it. So
did he? Okay,
yeah,
fair.
absolutely hated it. Yeah, Robbie, you know, we're worried about the next Spurs manager. We got to worry about the director of football first. We got to know if that person's going to have the power to be able to do their job and hopefully support the manager. And like Mark said already, it doesn't matter who the hell the manager is, because it's see, told you. It does. Like Mark said, I don't think it matters who the manager is, because we are so disjointed right now that it seems like our players don't know what to do, or they do know what to do, and for lack of better words, they just couldn't give a shit about it. Well, they can't be bothered to put in a commitment. They can't be bothered to put in an effort. You know, Kane's body language to me is just sad.
You know, he's got one foot out the door, right?
At this point, I think he's got 1 foot and half a leg out the door. You know, the other foot's kind
Imagine
of
where you'd be without
behind
his goals.
Oh, dude, if we didn't have his goals, somebody else was talking about this on a stream a little while ago, and I think it translated down to us being in 12th or 11th. The thing is, though, Robbie, that can't really be. That's not really, you know, foolproof there, because at the end of the day, if we didn't have his goals, there would be somebody else there. You know, Richie might be there. Could he potentially have got half the goals that Kane did? You know, we don't know. That's all speculation kind of thing. But
speculation.
Regardless, it's still frustrating. It's still to think that our top leading goal scorer of all time, who just had a mural put up, is going to consider leaving the home that he's had since he was a child. You know, we brought this kid up. He's an academy player. He's one of our own. You hear it sung through the stadium. It's painful to me that he's got it in his head that he might actually leave. You know, and Andrew's saying basically what I'm saying here. His vision is the balance sheet, not the team sheet. And Andrew, I'll throw you further out there, my man. I don't think he knows who's on the team. I really don't think he knows who's even on the team. I don't doubt he might walk down to the dressing room, walking around and looking for, where's Bale? Where's Gareth gone?
What about if
is
you
Gaston not here anymore?
If you sell Kane, what do you think you would get for him realistically?
Now? Right now, with 1 year left in his contract and his age, I think if we were to get 70 or 80 million for him, we better just take that and run with it. In today's market, in reality, 80 million is not a lot of money.
It's not.
But he's paid 60 for Richie there. So do we just pray that we can unleash Richie and he can do something for us? Or is he going to show that we overpaid for him and I just started reading Rob's comment here, but Everton is his level kind of thing. You know, so bring back Redknapp. We should have for the remainder games, shouldn't we, Rob? He's sitting around doing nothing, and I think he even offered his services, saying that I'll come in and finish off the season for you boys. You know, the Mason experiment, I still, it makes me laugh how happy everybody was when we went down 2-0 to United and came back and got that hard-fought draw, you know, and then turned around and just fell off from there, didn't we? You know, that Newcastle battering that we took.
Oh, buddy.
That was just that and
you know what I can say just on a side note?
The fact that he waited so long to change things, and it's you know, and this is the pain. Here it is. Here's the real pain. 50 years. And Mark is a super, super sweet, nice guy. You know, for him to be saying that, he's one of those kind of guys that you'd be kind of shocked that he's gotten to this level, to this point. But this is where we as fans have ended up, kind of thing, where we're at the point where we don't care. You know, Robbie, I've missed the last 2 games. Yeah, I've missed the last 2 games because I'm at work. I'm at work tomorrow, and I'm going to be at work for the Leeds game. I couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, that's tough, dude.
Normally I'm sitting there, you know, every time my phone buzzes, I'm kind of the second I can, when I get to the end of the line, I'll take a look at the phone and just see, okay, what's going on with the game, kind of go through the commentary and try to get an idea of what's happened and how the goal went in and everything. But I don't care. I still have not watched the highlights from the last 2 games.
Really?
I just, you know, the kids showed me
sad,
this,
bro. It's sad, but
this here and there, and it's just like,
and to be fair, I've been there.
Can't be bothered with it, man. I just can't be bothered with it. You know, but that being said, you know, with Spurs, sorry, we didn't even finish this really. With Spurs' next manager, I know Slot right now apparently has held some positive talks. There were some comments made by him and out of his camp that seem to be very, very positive. Again, people are on the fence about this one because, yay, he's done well with Feyenoord. He's done well in the Dutch league. Does that mean it's going to translate to the Premiership? I understand that English is not his second language as well. So that's going to be a major barrier coming to England as well. You know, I don't know how many languages he speaks. So I don't know if he's going to need a translator, which we already saw was an issue with Conte. Right, trying to go through translator and stuff like that. There's messages being misinterpreted through the media, through us, and the British media loves to misrepresent shit. You know, they just love to just fuel fires. Right, they're absolutely fantastic about it. I personally don't see Slot coming in because there'll be compensation needed to be paid, and with the fact that we're busy paying compensation to managers right now that we keep getting rid of. We've thrown away so much money in the last 5 years. You know, since Poch, it's absolutely crazy.
And now Poch is going. Now Poch is going to Chelsea.
And it pains me to say I think he'll do well there with that squad. He's going to have a young squad. If he gets in two center backs that can play into a system that he wants, get some young, fresh legs back there, I think they're going to be very deadly next year.
I don't think so.
And he'll need a striker. And does he steal Kane? Could you imagine Bowley comes in and slaps 200 million on the table and says, "I'll take Kane. Here's almost triple what you want for him."
Yeah, it's possible they could do that.
I think we'd have to be absolutely stupid to not take it.
Well, it's going to depend on Kane as well. Like, you can't just make him go there. I mean, I guess you could, but he could just be like, "Fuck it, like I'll do the best I can here." Like, I don't know, but I don't think he would go there. I think it's United, Newcastle. I mean, outside chance, maybe an outside chance, Chelsea, but I just don't see it. But you're right. You're. I don't think the manager is really the issue. I think you really need to, like, your club needs direction. It's missing direction.
Oh, it's not missing direction. You just get on the go-kart track that they're making. There's arrows. It's very simple. Rob, here it is right here. It's weird that we sit here. The board doesn't seem to care about wasting money when we're throwing it away and paying in compensations to managers. But we're letting Lucas Moura just kind of walk away now at the end of the season for free. He's pretty much going to be done in 2 weeks from now. Now a lot of people say that's okay. The heroics of the Champions League heroics and the Ajax heroics of the semifinal. That's not enough of a reason to just kind of keep him around when he's not contributing. At the end of the day, he was the sole reason that Liverpool won that game. We came back, had the draw pretty much sitting there, and in the last second of the game, he turns around and passes it to a player that should have been off with a red card. But it is what it is. It's part of the game. Mistakes happen. And when you have a player that's coming on so cold and hasn't got much game time to him this year, he's going to obviously make a mistake, which he did. So, with the next manager thing, though, so we should keep getting off the rails here. But with the next Spurs manager thing, I'll be shocked if it's Slot. I really think it's going to be Brendan Rodgers. And my gut feeling tells me it's Brendan Rodgers only because the way Conte was fired, the way we didn't really look for an interim manager, why we didn't approach Poch at all, who knows? Nagelsmann turns around and says, "Yeah, saw your policies, saw the way you want to do business. Hell no, thank you. I'll stay away." And I think Rodgers is already a done deal and has been a secretly, quietly done deal in the background. And the only reason it hasn't been announced, it's kind of like the deal that we had with Poch when we released him, that if he had signed with another EPL club before the end of that season, his compensation from us was void. So I think Rodgers might be in the same boat where he has a clause in his contract that says, Leicester released him, fired him, and if he had signed with another EPL club before the end of the season, that his compensation would be void. So I wonder if that's got something to do with it. So, Ellie's in the house. Big up, Ellie. Nice to see you here. So he'll be Slot. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Another Poch bring back exciting football, deliver the trophies. We can hope, Ellie. That's all we can hope for, right? Slot. That's the one thing that is exciting our fan base. That Slot does play attacking football. He's a very attacking-minded guy. Do we have the personnel though? That's going to be able to slot into a slot system. Yeah, didn't even mean to do that one, but
it's a good one.
Not bad. I'm curious, Robbie, because at the end of the day, like Mark already said, or I think it was Mark said earlier, it doesn't matter who the manager is if we don't back up properly. If you don't bring the players in that are going to help his system, and on top of that, when you look at the lone players that we have coming back, Winks and Ndombele, Giovanni Lo Celso, Jesus, what's the kid's name? Brian Hill. And then we got that Destiny Udogie is going to be coming in, who looks like a phenomenal left wing back. He's been doing very well in Italy. Then we'll have Jed Spence also coming back. So now we got two young wing backs coming back that have pace. So what happens if we bring in a manager that wants to play 4-4-2? Wing backs don't mean shit then. It's it's just such a mixed puzzle bag right now. We're doing things the wrong way. We're just consistently looking for these band-aid solutions, and it's just not working. You know, it's just yeah, Rob, we did lose that game in 2 minutes, but the end we just had a shout, and it did go away. Mark saying whatever it is, it'll be announced at the end of the season. So yeah, Rogers, it pains me to say, Mark, I think it will be.
How much you think you guys are going to pay him? Because he was getting mad money at Leicester, no?
I think it was like 8 million, wasn't it? Lester he was getting, isn't that what his
Yeah, he was getting
compensation
decent.
was?
He was like one of the top
Top five. Yeah.
Yeah, coaches paid. So
Yeah.
you guys are going to have to pay well over the top.
We just paid 15 million for Conte for the season, didn't we? So we don't.
Which is crazy.
You know, obviously we don't have, like I think Rob already said, we got no problem wasting money on stupid things that just don't make sense. But I don't get it because again, we're void of direction and it seems like almost void of ideas, right? But I guess all we can say with this one is we have to just wait and see because with all the media speculation and I'm getting fed up of the point. I can't even remember the last time I even went into Google and Googled, you know, Tottenham just to see what the new daily news, what was going on and everything like that. Because the amount of rumors that are flying in, the fact that we're linked with players. For what system? For what manager? Yeah. Why are we linked with players? How the hell can we be linked with players?
I see so many links.
Why are we linked
Arsenal
with
and players as well? And I'm like, the season's not even over for us. Like, we still got 2 games. Then we can start talking about
but you guys at least you know your manager's going to be there. At least you know kind of your project is on the rails still. We're so derailed. We don't even have rails.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense that you guys are getting linked to players. Be like, they don't even have a manager.
We're getting linked to players, Robbie, and then on top of that, we're having discussions about re-signing players like Dyer to a 3-year extension. You know,
I heard that too. It was a madness.
How does that make sense? So the next manager is going to come in.
Jay must
have Dyer given to him as his first gift. You know, Kane might be leaving. Where's the draw for a manager to come in and say, yeah, this is the squad I want to work with. I can't wait to work with Winks and Dyer and Ben Davies and you know,
Lloris, Sanchez.
Yeah,
your guys are. I'm not gonna lie, dude. As bad as we choked it this year, like your team is just. It's a mess. It's a mess from top down.
We do.
It's terrible. So what's the expectation then? What's the expectation
that's where
for
we're
you
going next,
season?
Right? That's where we're going next. I think this is going to be a very quick answer for me.
Shrug. Not even gonna tout a position. You think you finish above Arsenal next year?
I'll be shocked if we finish above Brighton next year.
Brighton are a good team, man. Hey, I took a look into Brighton.
But that's the thing. Now you look at the formula that they use. They got rid of their manager. Got rid of
backroom
3 key players, backroom staff, all gone. You know, they lost 3 key players to their squad and are doing better than they were the year before.
Brighton have.
Oh, is that because they're set up properly as their foundation?
Well, someone had said Tony Blue, I think, is the guy at Brighton who's their director of football or their head scout or something like that. They are picking. Look at the guys like Basuma, Trossard. You could go back to now even that
Cucurella,
Undev, Cucurella, Caicedo, Estupinian.
They've bought players. They've recruited and scouted well.
They've recruited
We do the opposite. You know?
And I guarantee you, so they lost Basuma, you bring in a Caicedo. They're going to lose a Caicedo. They're going to bring in another guy you've never heard of who's going to do amazing.
Jesus, Mark.
Right?
Come on now, Mark. He's saying he'll sell for 17th next season. So,
oh my God, can you imagine?
And Phil's right. You know, expect the worst, and that's kind of where I'm at, Phil. You know, I'm not going to lie, buddy. I'm really at that point where I think it's going to be another. If we lose Kane, especially, forget it. You know, there's so many variables that don't allow me to answer this question. You know, manager, director of football, star players. It's just there's too many variables. Star player.
Right? Like,
well, who knows? Who knows? Does Kane leave and then Sonny follow suit?
Oh, I don't know if they'd let Sonny, if they're offering Dyer another 3-year deal. I don't think that. I think they run Sonny into the ground just based on his fan base. The amount of money he brings in on his fan
He
base
brings
alone
in quite
from
a bit.
Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah. You give him
Yeah.
if you're giving Dyer a 3-year deal, you may as well give Sonny a 7-year deal. Be like, we don't care if you score, you assist. We don't care. Just stay here and keep selling jerseys.
Well, he does, buddy. The amount of Korean fans that I saw when I was over there, and all of them in that club shop carrying out bags and bundles of stuff, man. They spend the money, man. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Patty
Patty,
says it here.
I
Tony
heard
Bloom
this, Patty, that yeah, he's a very nice fella. And another thing, somebody else was telling me that they actually
loves the club.
met
Loves
him
it.
in person. He was out there talking to fans.
I don't doubt it, dude.
Right
I
in the
don't doubt
public,
it.
goes right down to the dressing room, talks to the players, talks to the
I don't doubt it.
fans. He's got that family vibe kind of going over there. Whereas we have just so much separation from our club right now, to the point where we have our own fans, a 50-year fan right here. You saw his comment. I don't care. Years ago, I didn't miss a game for anything. Now I don't care.
Yeah. That's terrible. It is terrible. All banter aside, that's terrible, dude.
My co-host Coobs,
Yeah.
Coobs is the other one on here with us and part of the Three Spurs boys as well. And Coob is at the point where he says, "Toys, toys, toys. Turn off you Spurs. Turn off your Spurs," I believe. Or he spent the last 2 games watching movies that he's already seen.
Oh wow.
Instead, because that's how painful he's finding the football right now. And
it's sad, dude. It's sad.
Brighton are so weird. They lose 5-1 to Everton home, go away to Arsenal, smash the bottlers, and then they get whacked at Newcastle. Yeah, it is strange. But Ellie, at the end of the day, you can't argue the fact that at least they're accomplishing
expectations
more
for their seasons.
Yeah, they're
after they lost
accomplishing more
Potter,
than what was expected out of them.
People thought they were going to free fall. Right?
We got loads here, Guns N' Roses, and I forgot about the Skywalk too. Yeah, that's a fantastic thing. What about you, Robbie? What are your expectations for next season? Because obviously, I know you're in the bracket where you would say you overachieved this season compared to considering what your expectations were going into this season. So
yeah.
I know you feel that you overachieved, and I personally feel that's you just trying to give yourself that comforting blanket from the fact that you just did the biggest bottle job in history. But what are your expectations going into next season?
I can take it, bro. I can take it. I mean, at the end of the day, we bottled it. We choked. I'll take it because I know for sure when you're sitting there like, I don't know. I'm like, I know we'll be back. I know it's going to be top 4 again next year. I know we're going to sign some of our youth players to long-term deals. We just got Ramsdale over the line. We're looking at investing properly. There's a lot of links about Rice, Caicedo, Diaby, backup for Saka, Simeon in right back position. So I'm the anti-you. I am, okay, we lost and I need a comforting blanket. Hey, man.
You've always been the anti-mean. I'm the good-looking one, and then there's you.
Yeah, I'm the gorgeous one whose team is fantastic.
No, that's why you needed to go and jump on the bandwagon when they were winning back in the day, and
hey,
we won't get into that. Hey, my team was 14th when I started supporting them, okay? So
yeah, that's true. But hey, I had family ties. Family ties at the end of the day too, right? So
yeah, but it's a family member you don't even like, so that doesn't even count.
What do you mean? I love all my family. Don't give me that nonsense. My expectations for next season.
Do you think now? Obviously, you finish. It looks like you're going to finish second. So, well, the expectation is to go higher. Then, wouldn't it be first? Do you think you'll be first? Do you think you'll be challenging for the title again?
I think we'll challenge. I think we'll get top 4.
Oh, Patty's saying you're not getting top 4 next year. That's 100%. You might want to lay a bet with Patty here, man. Patty's a betting man too.
I'll lay a bet. I see you still owe me for Arsenal finishing above Spurs.
I don't remember any bet that I made with him.
But my expectation next year is top 4 and a trophy. That would be my expectation.
Yeah.
And I would say in the next 2 years, he has to win a major. So whether it's the Prem or whether it's Champions League.
And do you think that well, that's the thing, because I was watching a video. I don't know if you saw it. I meant to send you the link that there's this Arsenal guy, Lee Gunner is his name.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch him. And he was saying that Arteta should be sacked.
Yeah. See, this is the issue that I'm worried about is the fan base, right?
Turning
After
toxic.
the turning toxic. Like if you look at your group, right? Protests outside. We've been there. We've done all that,
Yeah.
right? And it's taken us 20 years to get to a point where we're challenging again.
Yeah, but to be fair, Robbie, our the difference is our protests are such a small number that I don't think that the protests, unfortunately, and my dear friend Brian Daigle is one of the ones that's leading the line
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there,
yeah.
and I don't think that's going to be enough. That's why I revert back to the comment I made earlier, where keep Mason in charge, let him burn the club right down to the ground. Let's
Yeah, but see
finish
that I
13th.
don't
Let's
agree with
finish
that.
17th. But then as a fan, I don't want to see my club do that.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want to see.
Right?
I think the board deserves that. That's what will be the eye opener for. I've never been Levy out. I'm Levy for change, if anything. Just you've put all the right people in the right positions in every other aspect of your businesses, but for
Now do it
some
with
reason
football.
you
Yeah.
don't want to do it in football, and that's what I think a lot of fans' eyes are actually being opened up to. But Patty's dropped saying $20 American. You keep this American shit up, Patty. I'm gonna block your ass soon, man.
I got 20 greenbacks. I got greenbacks. I'm in. I'm in 100%. For
Yeah.
sure we get top 4.
So
I don't see us
Rams
bottling top
Champions
4
League,
again.
Arsenal. Hey, pick up Alan. Alan, 10 inches in the house. I just realized I saw the name, who it was. Uh, what do you think there?
That's the expectation. That's the expectation in the next 2 years. Otherwise, he's got to go. But the idea, of course, the fans, like I on TV, we saw a lot of fans leaving. I think that is a very dangerous mentality, right? And you can see other fans online, especially people you see online, are very much like chop and change. Let's go again. Go get somebody else,
Is it
right?
that because do you think fans are a little bit too fickle, for lack of better words, that their expectations
Yes,
are too high,
yes.
and
I think they
are
think we
we
are
want
Man City
immediate
or we're
success?
Chelsea,
Like we
and
want
I'm
that
like,
that overnight success.
yeah, they want overnight success, and when they don't get it,
And I
they
think that's
throw,
what's hurting us, though, as
yeah,
Spurs fans.
they throw their toys out the pram, and they're
Yeah,
like, I want something bright and shiny and new, and I'm more like, I want to see a dynasty like CDR building. That's the mentality. That's the mentality you should have. But in order to get that, you need all the fans on side. At the beginning of the season, when things are rosy and things are great and you're winning, it's easy to keep the fans on side. When
obviously.
you start slipping and bottling or
Yeah.
choking,
Well, Robbie,
that's
you
when
look
you
at
got to
our
stick
fan
together.
base going into this season, the hope, the promise that we had. You know,
Exactly.
the Conte is here. He's gone and invested into the squad, not as
Look at
far
the
as
way
we
you guys
needed
finished
to,
last season. We
but
Arsenal
you know,
bottled it. We got top 4 over them. We're gonna do, and you
well,
guys this
and that's what
season
Ellie is saying.
is a choke.
You're two chokes back to back now.
Yeah,
Is
it's fair.
that why you know is that why people have the right to kind of call for his head, whereas you're calling for calm?
I mean, listen, I'm just a fan. I'm a different type of fan. I'm going to support the club. I can't imagine a day where I'm like, Arsenal are playing today. No, I have no interest in watching that game.
Yeah,
I'll
if I'm
always
home,
watch my team,
I'm watching my
right?
team.
Yeah,
But am
and
I gonna,
that doesn't. Yeah,
before I would kind of make sure that I had the days off when the games are on.
yeah. Now you're
I would
just kind
take
of like,
weekends
meh. I
off.
don't
I
care.
was like, nah, I'll take Tuesday. It's more important to me to take Tuesday, Wednesday off of work so that I can coach Jay's football on Monday nights because he's
Yeah,
got late night games. So I was like, okay, forget it. I can still take Sunday, Mondays, and okay, I'd have to suffer Tuesday one day, but it's all right. Come home early. I'm home early enough. I can take a little nap. But you know, but Woolwich board seems pretty sensible. Would they sack him so quickly? I don't think so, Phil.
they
I
just
don't,
gave him a
because
two
what
another two
they've
year
done over
deal.
the last few years and backed him and brought in the players, because right from the get-go, people were calling for this guy's head, right? That eighth place finish, I still remember the fire, and I it made me happy, of course, right? So what? Grandma's here. Tell grandma I said hi. Start to come down and say hi. Robbie Chacha's on the phone on the line. Y'all can say hi to Big Mama K. But yeah, I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that they're gonna fire him. I don't think that
I don't think they would.
I don't think
And
that his head
here's
should
the
be
question:
called for right
Who
now
would you
either.
get? Who would you get?
Well, that's the
Who would you
thing.
get that are going to do a better job?
Well, then if
You
you
can-
do get somebody else, all of a sudden now all that investment that you've put into him in the last 3 years has to
He's
change,
gone. He's gone.
right? So
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't make sense, right? So you can come around and say hi to Robbie if you want.
Oh, Robbie's on
Yeah,
there?
Robbie's
Oh,
right here,
hi.
but we're live on stream, so
Oh.
you're gonna be on YouTube in a few seconds.
Oh, hi, Teddy.
Hi guys, meet Mom.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Auntie. Get done.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You're good? That's good.
the-
Everything's okay?
the big
fixed
boss is
now?
here.
All your arms and everything's okay?
Well,
Good.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
on a
good.
live
I'm all
stream.
good.
You know that, right? We're on YouTube right
Oh,
now.
oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. You can ask him about that personal stuff
Okay,
later.
take care.
Yeah.
I gotta
No,
go.
what
Okay,
you want
bye.
to what you want to
Bye,
ask
Auntie.
him while you're here is, so Robbie, how badly does Arsenal bottling the league make you feel?
Even if he gives me an answer, will I know what he's saying?
No, you probably won't have any idea what he's talking about, but it'll make my friends in the chat happy because majority of them are Spurs fans. So yeah,
Good
yeah.
luck to you guys.
But I love the
Thanks.
fact that you're giggling
Thanks,
away
Auntie.
after I said that they bottled the league because it's like you're laughing at him and Arsenal. So thank you for that, Mama.
bye-bye.
Okay, we're gonna be wrapping up shortly.
Yeah.
I'll be up in a few minutes.
Yeah.
No, wait
Even
a
your
minute.
mom's like, bye, Bob. Bye, Bob.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye, Mama. Love you.
Bye,
Bye.
Auntie.
Mama says bye, guys. All right, bye, Mama. Love you. Sorry about that, everybody. A few people said hi, Mama. Yeah. So yeah, you got a few hellos here, Mom. So and this is this this comment here, it's the hope that kills you. It is, isn't it, Andrew? Because we went into the season with a lot of hope, and this talk about Mark's on fire today, man. Levy said the new stadium will take us to the next level. We're gonna have double the fans coming into the stadium, and what we're doing is going backwards, moonwalking backwards as well. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. Really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. Big up the confused mother.
She did look confused. She's like, what's happening?
You know what's funny, Ellie? If I didn't tell her that we were on YouTube, she would have started asking about Robbie, about his missus, how the pregnancy is going, how's she feeling? Has he started painting the baby's room? Is the crib together? Yeah. Has he picked out babies' names? So we would have really, really got to know. This would have been kind of like a really screwed up episode of Off the Pitch where my mom was interviewing Robbie kind of thing. So yeah. So Robbie, what was your favorite goal?
Love her.
What's a goal? what's football again?
It's crazy, man.
Well, we do have one last thing to get into here, Robbie, and that is going into the games this weekend. As you know, we're going to be hosting Brentford tomorrow.
Minus Ivan Toney.
Minus Ivan Toney, the betmaster himself, 8-month ban. I know you want to talk about him for a minute, so we can do that. I just with that, it kind of gives me a little bit more hope going into it. But Thomas Frank's done a great job over there, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Keeping them up, keeping them competitive, got them playing good football as well. They've won some games that shocked everybody. They were the first ones almost written off at the beginning of the season to go down, right? So
yeah. I think Thomas Frank and their ownership have done brilliantly, and I think Ivan Toney, he's going to be a big miss, and I think he's quickly diluted part of his valuation if other teams are going to go in for him, right? But I don't know, man. I no matter where he goes, I think they'll still get decent money, and I think Brentford. Keep in mind, Ollie Watkins came from Brentford, right?
Yep.
Ivan Toney then replaced him, so
Yep.
I think Brentford might surprise a lot of people, and Ivan Toney might not be that big a miss, and they might have a backup already lined up or somebody already lined up to be like, this guy's going to be the next guy.
God, I hope you're wrong, but yeah, because they knew that ban was most likely coming a few months ago. So You're right; they might have put something in the works already. But Benny Kaufman is in the house. Big up the cough. Benny Kaufman. Benny gets his own song on this show. Michael Jackson, but we got Moon Boots Dyer tripping all over. Yeah, Moon Boots is Dyer's nickname, by the way, for the fans that are not fans of him. I think he's the only person in the world that's left that actually loves him. I think Dyer's own mother goes out there and says, "No, I don't know him."
Did Jay hear about the 3-year deal? He's probably like, yeah, man.
Oh
sign
yeah,
him
he was
up.
pumped.
Another
Yeah, so
3-year deal.
Phil's saying that he thinks that we're going to get a 2-1 win tomorrow. Kane last goal in front of a home crowd. Oh, Phil.
Oh, it's tomorrow your last home game?
Oh yeah, because the last game is at Ellen Road. We play Leeds away.
Oh, you play Leeds. Yeah, you could send him
away.
down.
Tony, his first game back. Yeah, it's interesting. Tony said his first game back will be a 2-0 win. That's hilarious, right? So, of course you do, Benny. It's well, it depends which one you want, because when it's me, it's the not Benny Kaufman song. But if it's the kids, it's "We love you, Benny, we do. We love you, Benny, we do." So, and and this is the thing. I don't know if you've seen this with the purple and gold till we're sold.
I did see that.
There's and that movement is gaining traction as well. So
of course it is.
There is a lot going on. Tomorrow's the last home game of the season. If
So what do you think?
Truly want change and are fed up of the board, they simply have to go and support guys like Brian Daigle and be at these protests. They have to make their voices heard. They've got to be out there in mass numbers. 100 people standing outside is a fair sized group, but I don't think it's enough to turn attention. Now, I know with the last protest, Sky Sports actually showed up and interviewed a few of the people that were there protesting and stuff. So it did make, mainstream media, but I think I don't think they care enough that they know, okay, 100, 200, 500 people out there. Who gives a shit? There's still 62,000 in here, 61,000 sitting in the stadium. There's still, lineups in the club shop kind of thing. The bar inside has got lineups at it. The food places, venues got lineups at them. I'm not going to lie. I went in there, and of course, being our first time, the kids had free reign to do whatever they wanted in that Spurs shop. We dropped £400 in there. It was little Kay's birthday. God knows if I'll ever be back, when I'll be back. I don't doubt I will be, but God knows when I'll be back. But of course, going to enjoy that. So it was mixed feelings for me doing that, because of course I want to make them happy, but it pained me to kind of line the pockets of the board that seems to care so little about the fans.
Yeah,
But going into the weekend game predictions, I'm kind of going to go with the Phil baby one is kind of almost perfect here. I'm going to steal everything he says except for the last part where it's Kane's last goal in front of the home crowd. I think it will be 2-1. I'm really hoping that's not his last goal in front of us. I really, really hope that he stays and we build around him, because that's our only hope in hell of becoming a true challenger for a trophy. You cannot get rid of your best players and expect to win. When you're not winning with them in the team, how the hell are you going to win without them in the team?
Fair.
So, Bentancur's got to come back, right? And that'll make a big difference. Actually, Phil, I heard about this. Apparently, Crackers has got very vocal about the protest and said he will be there protesting. Crackers is a big member of the YouTube and Spurs community, so he's got a large following. So apparently, he's going to be there. So. I don't care, but come on, you Spurs. Oh, Mark, man. Oh, buddy. What about you? Who are you playing? Where are you playing? How's your feeling?
Yeah, so I mean, we just lost to Brighton after an amazing away win at St. James Park. So for me, I think just out of pride alone, even though Forest
go back to the first part though. Let's answer those questions. Where are you playing? Who are you playing?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we're playing Nottingham Forest away.
Yeah.
Our game is, I think, the late kickoff, the 12:30 here, so 5:30 over there. So again, yeah, so it's our last away game. Our next game is at home. Our last game is at home against Wolves. And I think just out of pride for the away fans and our form away from home, I can see us doing 2-0 against Forest. And I think Forest might just skip past relegation. I don't know, but they're pretty close. Let's see what that number is. Where are they?
So you're saying you're writing this down,
they're 16.
right?
They're 16. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter, because it's not like we're going to be able to recap these. This is our last
we can talk about it.
show of the season. So
we can talk about it.
This will be our painful goodbye. Will it be Kane's goodbye? Will the next time we speak, Kane still be a Tottenham player? Will the next time we speak, Tottenham even have a damn manager? Last time we waited 70 some odd days before we appointed
These are all
Nuno.
questions that'll be answered in season 2.
In season 2 of What's Buzzin Cuzzin. Hold
the
on,
cliffhanger
there's
ending.
more drama. This is the cliffhanger. What will the baby look like? You will see in season 2. Will the baby actually don some Spurs colors that I sneak into the room and hide and put in there? Will he display the Tottenham Hotspurs teddy bear I bought him in the club shop? Oops.
Oh my God!
We will see.
I was gonna say, is he gonna feel the Spurs diaper to the fullest?
So you're saying 2-0 to you guys tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say light work. I just think these guys need to bounce back after that disappointing loss. And I think the away fans.
Phil saying you guys will take a 3-1.
Yeah, I think the away fans, quite frankly, those are the fans day in, day out, night, like doesn't matter. They'll support.
Yeah.
They'll cheer. You make a mistake. They've understood how important our away form has been, and I think they'll galvanize the team. He'll have to make some changes, right? No Martinelli.
Why no
Saliba
Martinelli? Sorry, why is Martinelli's out too?
He's injured, out for the season. The rest of the season. Zinchenko out for the season. But again, we'll probably play Trossard on the left. We'll play Tierney on the left. Jesus up the middle. No other real changes. Most likely Kivior. Xhaka is going to be his last away game. He might be leaving at the end of the season. So I think a pretty standard lineup minus those 2-3 changes.
Fair enough. Sorry, just give me one.
Oh, he's getting in trouble right now. Well, folks, I really appreciate you guys, even though it's all Spurs fans, really appreciate you guys accepting me into the group and having a good chat. We're always down to talk about football. We're going to talk about it anyways. So
yeah, exactly. Might as well do it with a few of our friends in the community. And like Robbie said, really appreciate you guys all coming in and joining the chat today and contributing with your questions and your comments. It makes for the show and everything like that. So thank you all of you that joined us this afternoon. Really appreciate it. So there you go. Thank you. I love it, Ellie. Cheers. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Ellie, for that. But that is it for this season. Be back for season 2 of What's Buzzin Cuzzin and see. Will we have a new intro? Probably not, because I'm too lazy to make it. And that one took me long enough. But maybe, yeah, well, actually, I'll have to incorporate like season 2 in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually, shit, no, that means I have to remake the whole video because I know I deleted the original. But it'll be easy enough to do. But Robbie, thank you for taking the time to join me and do this show with me. You know, like you said, we always like talking about football and everything. And I know you brought this up in a suggestion a little while ago, and I thought it was a great idea. And I've actually really enjoyed doing the 7 shows that we have got to do this season. Obviously, next season we'll get a lot more shows in there for you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If there's any content that you'd like to see, by all means, feel free to come back in and by all means, drop any suggestions you guys have for content that you'd like to see us create for you guys in the next season. So you stole Rob Patterson's name, though. He's not happy about that. But thank you, Phil. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Ellie, Rob, everybody that's been in the comments. The sheriff has been here all night. My Benny boy, like always loyal and coming by. My favorite Englishman there, Patty's been here. Andrew Gregory, another always loyal guy that's in the chat.
Guest appearance by Auntie, your mom.
Guest appearance by mom on the final show of the final episode as well, right?
That's right.
There you go.
We'll have more surprises next season.
More surprises next season. Yeah, we went from the top of the food chain. Now we're going from one of the oldest members in the family. Now we'll go toward the youngest when the baby kind of pops in, right? And Jacob was here as well. So big up, Jacob. Thanks for popping in. Just want to see if I missed anybody. It's only a handful, so we might as well just shout them out individually. It is the last show. Maddie Hayes had popped in for a moment there as well. Big up, Maddie. Welshie was here for a bit too. Thank you, Welshie, for popping by. Stuart 727, always hanging around. Thank you, Stuart, for that, man. Appreciate your support. And Biggie was popped by for a moment there as well. Big up, Biggie. Ryan was here, Huddersfield Town. Thank you for that, Bobby. Your buddy was here. Another Arsenal guy, Brush, of course. Jacob was already mentioned, and Sophia was here as well. I think that's everybody. If I missed you, my apologies, but we do appreciate you guys coming by, adding to the show. And thank you very much. And looks like we will see you next year. Anything anything you'd want to add before we go?
Yeah, come on, you Gunners next year. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you can just we'll edit that part out. But Paddy is Irish, Ellie, but he has a horrible habit of calling me American, so I'm going to call him an Englishman from now on. It's just a little kind of banter kind of thing we've started, just like this guy and me here. Banter is always good, right? And Benny, it always is good times, but that's what it's all about, right? Benny is one of the people that is steadfast that this community should be about having a good time. And Ellie, perfect timing on that comment. Absolutely perfect. So as we sign off, we will see you next year. I will be back, obviously, next week with Kuv and the Kang. Maybe we can get this guy onto a night of In the Bull with Kuv and the Kang as well. We're going to be having our Christmas special next Saturday night. So, yeah, Christmas in May, baby. So if you're up and around for it, jump on. You know what kind of nonsense we get into on that show. But again, thank you all for joining. We'll see you next time. And as always, come on, you Spurs.